Hello, 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 everybody. Thank you for coming and welcome to the Garden Quilt and Art Show where good friends become family and family is everything. Appreciate each of you taking time out of your busy day to come in today. Maria Graham says, don't forget to hit that like button. You know what? Let me check in so that I can see the chat as well. And I'm all frizzy. I just hopped out the shower because I was in the garden doing my new planter garden update, even though I'm not going to be in the winnings or anything. It's just fun having my name out there, having you guys check on my gardens. So I see two people in here, or let me see how many thumbs up. Let's see, two watching. So that's you and me, Maria, and it will go out to others. If we build it, they will come. They will come. So, how's the weather out there, Maria? It will be 107 here today in Arizona. Mike's Chaotic Gardening is helping me get 2 cents towards my t- towards my what restream whoever thinking about going back to Stream Yard, the free edition. I don't even make $25 a month so that I can pay for the streaming service. But I ain't crying, you guys. I'm not crying. It is what it is. And I get to see you guys and show you what I am doing. Michael, I think I'm going to add my own self on the phone. Oh, you had rain there today? Well, we have had rain one time since I've been in Arizona, two 2 weeks, 2 weeks to go, couple days, and it came right on time. For those of you who haven't seen it, I uploaded a short today. Excuse me. If you are here on the on the replay, I'd like to thank you for coming in. For the moderators, I appreciate all you have done for me the entire time I've had this channel, and the paid subscribers, the paid friends and family members. I appreciate you. That helps. That helps too. Thank you, Maria. It's a baseball T-shirt. I like baseball. I was gifted this T-shirt, and I just liked it because it was black and gold. Black and gold. Crafty Leo. Thanks for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. Love you. Love you, love you, love you. And I try to stay awake for Mr. Bammett on what night is that? Monday night? Saturday night? Whenever you guys, Sunday night, I seem like I can't make it no matter what zone I'm in. Crafty Leo, I saw something. I don't have the picture here, but I thought about you. Oh, I did send it to you. I did send it to you. It was a Naugahyde, like a faux leather placemat, and the stores are selling them. They have them on Amazon. Auntie Joanne has some from, like one of the box stores. Oh, thank you, Crafty Leo. Ego amote. And Ego amote, mother, if you're able to watch this today. My mother is still in the nursing rehab, it's difficult, but she's making it do what it do. She is excited to walk around and do her therapy to try to get home. Oh, Crafty Leo said Tuesday and Sunday. Thank you. Well, I'm not on anything on Sunday. That's like family time. Oh, I forgot I sent you a package. You know what, Crafty Leo? I don't even know. Yes, I do. I remember what's in it. Maria Graham was saying, "Hello, Mother Pankey." The last photo I saw of my mom, she was in her bed holding a picture of her new great 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 grandson who will be living in her house when she goes home. And she is so excited about it. The baby's mother come every day until she actually went in the hospital to have him. And he's a bigger boy, head full of hair, head full of all this dark hair. Somebody's going to have to comb. I never did learn how to comb hair. My son, of course, got haircuts when he was younger. My grandson did not until he started prep school when he was 13. He had long, long, long hair. My daughter, I never learned how to do hair. I was young as a mom and still going to school. And my grandmother and my mother combed my daughter's hair. I still can't do anything with it. Look up close. It's all fuzzy. It's all fuzzy. But I got out of the shower just in time. I'm so excited. Almost homesteading with Janet. Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. Why? Because good friends become family, and family is everything. A few of you I owe mail to, and it's not you, Jana, but you reminded me. But I haven't been to the post office. As you know, Maria Graham says, "Congratulations on the new baby." Yes, I am a great great grandmother, two times over, two of the most wonderful little boys, two little, two just charming little boys already. So, for those of you who've asked me about children, I have two children, one son, one daughter. Oh my goodness, crafty Leo. Thank you. Thank you. Well, it's what God did to my hair is what's happening because it just is what it is. I can't sing either. I can't sing either, but lately, since I've been blind in one eye, it helped my voice get better. I notice when I'm singing on the channel, it's not as ugly as it used to be. That's funny. That's funny. So I want you don't have to make a video or do anything. When you guys get things from me, I do it from my heart, not because I want to get the likes or thumbs up or anything. I just do it because I love you. I think it's useful, it's wonderful. My mother is in the nursing rehab. Even she was in the hospital. She had the family bring her special pillow I made her to the hospital. It's like everybody who has one of those just loves them, loves them, loves them. And it's like almost like an addiction. So, how many of you have gardens this summer in any stage? I know almost homesteading with Janet. Oh, you guys, don't forget to give the thumbs up because it helps the algorithms. And I recently got a message because they posted on Facebook for a couple of weeks or something. And I got a message the other day. One of my posts went viral. My first time getting over 10,000 likes in one video. It was a short. Crafty Leo says, of course, she wants everybody to see it with her or not. She might be embarrassed, but it's love. It's love, love, love from my heart. I saw an interesting video last night. I will actually, it was on public broadcast station. I'll tell you about it in a few minutes when more people come in. I'll just chit chat until about quarter after. You have a struggle garden? That's okay. Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. Mike says, please hit the like button, you guys. Every little bit helps. I planted out front in a really thick ceramic planter here in Arizona, and I planted too many lemon balm seeds, too much mint, and It started coming up. Then my sister, Auntie Joanne, she's not home right now. They had an appointment to go to, her and Uncle Roscoe. She was in the hospital, and I was trying to take care of the house, not take care of it, but just be mindful of it, look out for Uncle Roscoe. I forgot about the plant out front, and it was like 110 degrees. So I think it might have cooked. I think it might have cooked. I didn't see them. Maria Graham just picked some collard greens and strawberries today from her garden. You know, Maria Graham, the new strawberry leaves, the new raspberry leaves make the best tea. And the tea is good for everyone, especially good for people with lady problems. So I took that off so that So now I will, I don't know, go back to the chat. Of course, I was trying to get the comment off, but that's okay. Maria was the first one in here. So, yeah, nice. So, you posted an outdoor tour today. You mean not a tour of the squirrel's nest? I can't wait. Oh, yeah, because today was Planter Garden Upgrade Day. I mean, Planter a garden update. So I did too. And I decided that I'm not I'm not posting just for any challenge. I'm sharing my love for my gardening wherever I go. And I have so many herbs planted out there, though, you guys. I've been here 2 weeks. I planted 11 days ago. Why? Because the name of this channel is Garden, Quilt, and Art Show. Let's see if I can show that. Okay. Let's see what happens. And will it show? Who knows? Yes, you can drop your link, those of you who are content creators, by putting exclamation mark GQUAT, and we can get to know each other. Something interesting happened not too long ago. I have some new subscribers from Kenya. And Mike said, not much is growing, but lots have germinated. Same here. It's cold in Connecticut. It's too hot in Arizona, but I dropped seeds anyway. Too many. Auntie Joanne can thin them out. She said, what will I do when I thin them out? You can use them for, what do you call them? When you get the little plants that the new seeds. Oh my gosh, I can't think of the words. But you plant lots of seeds, harvest them. She can put them in her salads. There are radish tops. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I'm sure I planted beets, but I don't remember where. So there, I put basil in every pot that seemed like it needed some love. We planted, and because the yard is already totally landscaped and there's a pool in the back, there's not a lot of space to grow things. So we put the grow bags and oh yeah, microgreens, Mike. Mike helps me with my vocabulary. You're adopted, Mike. And I'll go back to it. A couple of weeks ago, I had on a kimono, and Mike later on said, "Oh, I like your kimono, Auntie," even though I didn't go live because you scheduled it at the wrong time. And then someone asked, "What is the difference between a kimono and a kaftan?" A kaftan kind of goes on over your head, has big sleeves, and a closed front, whereas a kimono was originated in Japan thousands of years ago. A lot of them are in silk, really, really nice fabrics, and they open up in the front. They have raglan sleeves, and they're just fun. Sarah's happy hives. How are you? How's the beekeeping going? And how are your arts and crafts? Don't forget to put exclamation mark GQUAT So you can drop your link and people can find you who are looking for honey or to find out about bees, the queen, all that stuff. So going back to what I was telling you, I have a new subscriber who lives in Kenya, lives in a remote village where there are no roads, there's no electricity, and she goes out of her way to come to Auntie Ellen's channel and I won't say patronize and love on me. You know, when they cook the traditional way, out mostly outside, sometimes inside. But if it's 105 degrees inside, who wants to be in there cooking? You know, and the smoke and everything. And her channel is so interesting. She's a school teacher. Her husband does all the planting and grows the food. They do it as a family as we did growing up, we planted on Memorial Day. My dad and the family, we would have a barbecue, a big picnic, a cookout, and that's when we would get started. Now, my garden honestly won't get started until after Father's Day because it'll be after Father's Day before Mr. Hershey and I fly back to Connecticut and I left my winter sewing jars. I had them inside. I had some things that had been in hydroponics. I politely took them outside to my community garden and I said, may the force be with you. Prayers, the Lord is looking out for you. But we got so much rain, it didn't have to be watered. I didn't have, my helper went out of town. She went to Florida, got a little break. So the worst thing can happen when I get back to Connecticut. I have planted as late as the 4th of July there, and I have planted that late, and I can drop seeds. Some of my herbs are perennials there. I have the new herbs that I planted a lot of. I can get starts. There are some farms nearby and farmers markets that I've been going to for years, and I can get 48 plants for less than $25. I will do that. May the force be with you. So we will eat, and then it'll be up to the squirrels and hedgehogs and groundhogs and all the critters who will let me grow something. Lorraine T, thanks for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. Are you back at your house or are you still with your mom? Are you with your mom? You guys, Lorraine T's mom lives not even 15 miles from where I live in Connecticut. And when I'm there, sometimes we connect, her and Yankee sister and I. And in the future, I would like to connect with anyone in the Northeast area or who feels like coming to the Northeast area. I don't really drive, so I'm I have to use public transportation. If you call flying and Ubers, and I guess it's public but private to me. So yeah, I will be back here in Arizona in 2026, but I'm not coming during my gardening season. I'm going to spend that in Connecticut. I had a little issue with my community garden while I was gone. I think it was handled, and they like you to keep them up. And mine is a little messy from last year. But I told them, look, I am an almost professional gardener. You wish you lived closer. Well, who knows what may happen? I have a lot of family in Pennsylvania. I may end up getting closer to where some of you are in the Indiana, Ohio, that area. So, who else is growing for better or for worse? For better or for worse. I'm planting here, but you know what? I'm trying to make it user friendly because Auntie Joanne has a lot on her shoulders, and I want to make it so that she can grow food, but not be, out there watering twice a day, even though it's 100 and oh, you just said busy the bees, Janet. There are so many now. That is such a good thing. I know Pennsylvania is not that far. And the part of Pennsylvania that my mother's from is the western part of Pennsylvania. It's a coal mining town not too far from Pittsburgh. I fly into Pittsburgh. You're welcome. Road trip, Janet. You are welcome. How do you go food where it's so hot? There are grow bags out there, and Auntie Joanne has shade covers. She goes out there. She has watered before she left this morning. She actually had 2 appointments today. So they have a busy life, including when I come. Oh, I see I left my door open. Oh, you have to excuse me 1 minute. Excuse my little butt. Excuse my little butt. I try to keep it covered up. I try to keep it covered up. My little boom back there. And because when the garage door opens, the dogs are going to bark like crazy. I will mute them, but they may make noise. So when you grow it when it's hot, it's like this is Arizona 9B. You use a lot of shade cloths. And I'm learning something about shade cloths because I've never needed shade cloths. Even when I lived in 10B, one time I lived in the greater Los Angeles area, but it never got hot like it does here. Jags, hey there, honey slanger. How you doing? I wish I was closer to you all with that hunty because I buy a lot of honey. I don't use refined sugar very much. I use some cane sugar, but I prefer when I do the turbinado or the raw sugar, and we use honey. But honey, I can't afford the shipping on the honey. So I get raw honey. Like where I live, there are some beekeepers, and as small as Connecticut is, you guys, you'll be surprised how many farms there are, like up in the hills and whatnot. And I'm able to grow a little bit there, and I just do whatever makes me happy. Going back to your question about here, so some of you have seen the property is surrounded by a 6 foot wall. So except at when the sun is at 12 o'clock directly overhead, that's where it beats straight down, except one side of the house where the 100-gallon grow bag and this repurposed commercial. Oh, I hear beeping, but it's the laundry room. This repurposed commercial um, wheelbarrow. So I have stuff growing in there. You're parking now. Forgive you for not saying individually hello. That's okay. The baby is here. Yes, he's here. He's here. And yep, he's here. And I'm so blessed, so thankful. We have 6 living generations. 6 living generations. And when I get back that next weekend, I'll be there getting my hair did and and to see the baby and mom no matter what. So the name of the channel is Garden, Quilt, and Art Traditions. So I try to talk a little bit about each thing. Kathina, I don't remember, I do remember seeing you in the leaving a message. I appreciate you. Everybody, welcome Kathina in. And we appreciate you. And thank you for coming. I appreciate each and every one of you. Why? Because good friends become family, and family is everything. There was something posted on, oh, and this is also a chat. What a almost 77-year-old woman can think of to run her mouth about. It's like when you come here visiting your grandmother, your nana, your old auntie, and I hope you get that warm spirit, and which is what I try to convey in Kenya. I was in I bring it every day. Kelly's live stream one day this week. I was in a Zoom meeting with a quilting group that I'm in. I belong to their tribe in Nigeria, and I was getting some really great fabrics from there. I love African fabrics and batiks. Why? Because I didn't grow up with them and I never had them. And I have a few now and I love them. It's a totally different quality of fabric that comes from the continent of Africa. And why? You hear of Egyptian cotton, the 800 thread count sheets. They have something called long staple cotton. What it means, I don't know. I don't know that much about cotton. I know my grandmother and grandfather in North Carolina used to raise cotton and tobacco. They were farmers, but except for the summertime, we went down there. I think they pick cotton. It's like after the school starts. So I've never seen that grown except on the side of the road, not being picked. And when I lived in North Carolina, they don't pick it by hand anymore. They have these machines, these combine machines that come, and they put them in these huge bales, bigger than this room, bigger than this whole room. And they're tall, tall, tall. I think of that movie When Cotton Comes to Harlem. And I guess they were delivering some cotton or something in Harlem. And the truck overturned. It was a mess. I don't remember. Shani. I always say wrong. Shani 2003. Thanks for coming and welcome. Why? Because good friends become family. Family is everything. I was starting to tell you earlier before I forgot. One of the elders in my church went home to heaven to the pearly gates this week, and the previous pastor's daughter said that she's known her since 1973. I think that's when her father became pastor of the church, and he was for 35 years. I have belonged to that church for over 70 years. I was baptized there, and I've always maintained my membership. And on Sundays, I'm not able to go. It's in a different town in Connecticut, and I don't do all that driving. It's pretty far, but I go to virtual church on TV. My mother meets virtually on TV, and so does Auntie Joanne. So it seems we can still see each other chatting in the chat on YouTube or Facebook Live. So thanks to the modern conveniences, we are able to keep up with each other, pray for each other, and love on each other. So back to the GQUAT. We talked about some gardening. We also the channel we do cooking from scratch. I want you to know that I cook something every day. I have to go downstairs now. Why? Because we're out of cornbread. They ate the last piece last night. Sometimes I make cake cornbread. It's light, it's sweet, it's fluffy. Sometimes I make it in the skillet. What if your childhood church has online church? Check them out and see. Or I can give you a link. I can invite you to my childhood church, which is in Stamford, Connecticut. And it it started out in one church in another part of town. It was a small church. We raised money and built another church that was bigger. Then they have this huge church now, and it was built from the ground up, and we were able to pay for it and burn the mortgage. There is no mortgage on this church. It's a wonderful, wonderful feeling. And yeah, so cooking today, what is on the menu will be chicken enchiladas. Auntie Joanne makes really good rice. She has a rice steamer. Or, oh, church with Auntie Ellen would be fun one day. Yes. Oh, Auntie Joanne Stevens is saying hello. She's pink hand waving. She's not home today. But hi, sissy. So I'm in her studio. trying to keep cool by keeping their wooden blinds, heavy ones. If you keep them closed, it stays pretty cool in here. Yes, the AC is on, and I have the blinds on this side open so that it's pretty cool in here. Auntie Joanne, it was nice to see. Oh, in the video. So I was sneaky, and if you look at the video I posted today, you will see Auntie Joanne. First, there's a sketch of her. She doesn't like to show her face. Then she was driving me around and she was standing in line politely 6 feet away from the next person getting gas. And she just looked so cute there. Auntie Joanne is like 5'7.5", and she's tall and slender, so elegant. She was standing there in line, and her hair was out. Her locks, her hair is down to the bottom of her waist. The bottom of her waist. I couldn't handle that much hair. Hey, Donzel Cooper, thanks for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. But she paid me back. Also in that video is a terrible, terrible picture of me outside, a bonnet on my hair. I never go outside like that. I didn't think anybody could see me in the 6 foot wall. No bra, stretched tight pants on. OMG, just terrible. So that was her payback. She got me back. She paid me for that. So hello, people are saying hello, Donzel Cooper. Thanks for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. That she does have long hair, and when she walks, it gets in her way, so she just throws it like her hair is literally like 36 inches long. It's long, but she doesn't like pictures, so let's just. I will keep it moving. She's saying hello, Crafty Leah, Maria Graham, Mike, almost homesteading with Janet. Sarah's happy hives and Donzel. Maybe I can get everybody in there in one time. Thank you. I love having a small channel that I get to know you all individually. I get to chat and speak with you. So when I was going live this week in other people's chat, I did some knitting. And if you go to, she's on here, I don't usually talk about people that aren't here. But if you go on, I bring it every day. I was knitting on her channel. I'm actually knitting a hat for Uncle Roscoe. I don't know. It must be in another room here. And then afterwards, I had all these little scraps of pieces that I started sewing. You haven't cut your hair in 10 years and yours isn't that long. Barb Brownlee, thanks for coming. It's storming here, but went outside to place buckets in the yard to catch the rainwater. Well, Auntie Joanne said that if I had put the bucket, I have a 5 gallon bucket, but I let the leftover water from the faucet drip in it and get some out and let it evaporate, that the bucket would have been filled if I put one out the other day. We had so much rain. So we will. I don't know if it's even going to rain again while I'm here. So I had this little scrap of fabric from Auntie Joanne's gifting, and I sewed a couple of thin strips on here. Then I started sewing. They call these crumbs, you guys. When you have little itty bits of pieces of fabric. Look at this. Seems like a waste of time, but it's considered art and artistic to make fabric out of something that would be nothing or go into the trash. So I will be putting all of these together and putting it into one piece of fabric and making it into some hoop art. Hoop art. LGGG Love is saying hello and welcome to chat. So let's push these scraps out of the way. For those of you I owe mail to, when I can get to the post office, I will. I promise. Your things that I made are still here. And what I'm going to do today is work on something that will be a house gift for Uncle Roscoe and Auntie Joanne. So I had this beautiful African fabric. you guys, this was actually a 6-yard piece when I bought it. I made something, some strips around some fabric for Uncle Roscoe, and I had more. That's skills. You put the crumbs in the trash. I know. I was showing that you can do something with the crumbs, or and especially fabric that is handmade. This African fabric is handmade, and I just hated putting it in the trash. Like this is a baobab tree, a part of it, which is historical, historic, not historical. This is a piece of some type of a bird from South America. That's the back, this is the front. So it seemed a shame to throw it in the trash. And I wanted to just show that something could be made out of it. Auntie Joanne fussy cut this. Actually, there's two pieces, so I'll only use one. This is an Adinkra symbol for love. I know that by heart. So I'm going to use a piece of it. But anyway, so going on to these, I'm going to make some mug rugs to leave here. And guess what? I used her brand new fabric shears that are super, super sharp. And I cut out this denim. So these are 6.5-inch squares. Hope you're doing well, Sissy, and Auntie Joanne and Uncle Roscoe. Um, it is difficult, Crafty Leo, sewing little tiny pieces together. I am a master at it. I love doing it. And then I've cut 4 6.5-inch pieces of cotton. You can double cotton when you want to make a mug rug, but you don't want it too thick. You want when you put something down that it's stable and not rocking around on there. I do like mug rugs that are 5 inches. Someone asked about that last time, but I'm making these 6.5 inches because Auntie Joanne and Uncle Roscoe have some mugs that are pretty big. So this started out 6.5 inches. It will only be 5.5 inches when it's finished. So the only thing I have to do when I put this together, Karen's little garden. Thanks for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. So the only thing I have to do is put right sides together. It's kind of the beautiful thing about this fabric, and which is one of the things I wanted to show you about the African fabric. This is the right side. This is the wrong side. You really have to strain your eyes to see which is which. The fabric is so richly dyed that you can't tell the front from the back. So, what I do, you put right sides together, or some people say the pretty sides together. So, I put those together, and I think this is the right side. I'm going to put this one together. And what I do when I'm making mine, I put the batting on the bottom. So now I'm looking, but if you have to look that hard to find the front from the back, it really does not matter because that means either side is going to be beautiful. And at any rate, it will keep the coffee from getting on her little antique tables. And then sometimes we go in the den and watch sports, like we're going to do tonight. Unbiased LLC. Thanks for watching, you guys. We've been watching UCLA women's softball because Auntie Joanne and Uncle Roscoe's granddaughter is a pitcher for UCLA and a starter. She's number 23. Her name is Taylor Stevens. So I'm putting this quilting sandwich together, and where I reach for my pins, Auntie Joanne's is a different color. You like this orange color? It's nice and bright. So I will put a pin on the side where I'm going to stop. I may not sew them all together. I'm just taking my time, enjoying you guys' company, and it may not be all the way on the edges. Let me try to get this together. I'm holding it up. But let's do this, you guys. Let's move the things around. Slowly I turn. Try not to throw you guys up. Make you throw up, I mean. So I'm turning you to this side. I know it looks a little messy. But this is my workspace, and I have plugged in her cute little featherweight. You know what I like about these antique sewing machines is that you, if it's plugged in, you can still sew with it. And like, see this? The light is too bright. I can sew with the light off. Hello to everybody in the chat. I may not be able to see you right away. I'll show that Barb Brownlee was saying hello to a lot of you. And thanks for the 20 of you who are in here and giving the thumbs up. So I will have a cute little gift. Oh, and one of the sofas in the den, in Auntie Joanne, Uncle Roscoe's den, is an orange sofa. It's leather. The couch potato stays on it half the night. I didn't even come upstairs to my bedroom here on the second floor until about 2 o'clock this morning. I feel like coming up all those steps. So I sat down there and hung out, Uncle Roscoe and I, watching TV together. And that is so beautiful because, okay, they're back there. I'm reaching, you get automatic memory for where you keep things. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take the, hold on, you guys, take the captions off so that we can see what I'm sewing. 755. How you doing? How you doing? I'm going to be doing some painting with you soon, Auntie Joanne and I. So, okay. So you can see the sewing machine. You can see some of the sewing. I'm going to send. So we have 3 pieces. A quilt is actually a 3-piece sandwich, a top, a bottom, and some batting. I put the batting in the middle on this one. And we're going to sew these puppies up and have some extra mug rugs for wherever. The dining room. We hardly ever use the dining room. There's a beautiful wooden table in the kitchen den area. It's like a great room. We sit there and we eat every day as a family. Growing up, that's how we ate. Uncle Roscoe says grace. I've been doing most of the cooking to spoil them. I don't get to cook very much when my daughter or others are here because they're younger, faster, and they like to do the cooking and spoil Uncle Roscoe and Auntie Joanne. If I miss you because, yay, let's paint. I'm trying to figure out whether to do it here because I didn't bring any of my paint stuff and just go. I hate to borrow her. She's so neat about her stuff. And me, I can be a bit messy. Since she's been gone, I don't know what happened, but Hurricane Auntie Ellen was doing stuff and she had one of her quilts up there. It looks like it slid down. Hold on 1 minute, you guys, because I have to get up I cannot disrespect her quilt. This beautiful quilt. She was going to use it for backing. How beautiful is this? So I picked it up, Sissy. It accidentally fell on the floor, but the good sister picked it up. A good artist is a messy artist. Yes, yes. I bring it every day. Kelly, you're arriving home. Thank you. Your ears must be burning because we were just talking about you and me coming to your channel and working on a hat for Uncle Roscoe. It hasn't gotten much further because I left it upstairs last night when I went, after dinner and we were watching TV. I didn't come back up to get it. And sometimes we just spend time. Oh, that's a fantabulous quilt. That she was going to put it on the back, and I'm like, no way, Sissy. And everything is so. I will let you show it. Let her show it. I actually have it upside down. I have it upside down. The arrow that's pointing up should be pointing down, and I will show you why. Because she fussy cut every single piece, and look at look at the men in the fabric. Look at the baobab tree. Look at the lion. You see his face is up? Those seams, she started with a 1 inch piece of fabric, sewed an exact 1/4 inch seam on each side, and left a 1/2 inch to 1/3 in the middle. So, and then the cheap fussy cut so that the arrow is going down. There are some Swahili words, I think, on here too. The But I will let her explain it when she does some Adinkra symbols. And okay, so I will putting your stuff back, Sissy. I'm not trashing your whole studio. Not the whole thing. Not the whole not the whole daggone thing. It is beautiful. She does such a, and you guys, the quilt that she made that to go on the back of is her first quilt. She is so meticulous. She is so meticulous. And I'm sure that her paints, once her sister gets in them, will not be the same. You know how you're painting and you dab your paint, whatever, you don't get the nib, you don't get paint all the way to the top of your good brushes and stuff. Well, she went to interior design school, and she has classic training, so she doesn't trash her stuff. I'm looking. I think this is the front. I thought the other part was the front before, but we're gonna hurry up and whip up some of these real quick on her sewing machine. I just want to make sure, and I'm going to make the seams a little thicker than normal to make sure that I get all the edges, because all these are not perfectly cut. And we just want to make sure that we can turn it inside out and remind, yes, Sarah, it does remind you of stained glass. It's so beautiful, Auntie Joanne. Beautiful, beautiful. That's not even the quilt. That's what she was going to put on the back of the quilt that she fussy cut. I'm like, no way, sis. That is too much work, too much fabric. And we bought this fabric for a group, a tribe that we're in Nigeria, a tribe of quilters. And it is authentic fabric. We paid for the shipping. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. Okay. So I'm sewing this, making sure that I have all the seams, trying to make sure that I leave enough. I don't see black very well. I'm gonna push this up there so that maybe you can see better. And my ugly arm will be sticking out. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm going to make a 12-inch seam. I'm going to put the strings in the back. I backspace. This has a speed foot on it, so it sews really fast. Unbiased feels the need for speed. She loves it, loves it, loves it. She loves to go fast. So this antique machine can go really, really fast. You can hear how fast it's going, like all the little stitches. When you turn the corner, you leave it down. I will look up in a minute for those of you who may be talking and I miss. Actually, I can look over here and look down. Okay. Chat publicly. Okay. Auntie Ellen, I'm a perfectionist. Well, sort of, kind of, but it's automatic. It's automatic because I used to teach quilting, and I wanted people to know the best of what quilting has to offer, as well as being comfortable just doing sewing with a big needle, just sewing by hand, just making something beautiful. Last night, I started telling you guys, I started watching Auntie Joanne and That Must Be Home. The dogs are going crazy. I started watching a PBS broadcast about Gee's Bend quilters. What is Gee's Bend? For those of you who don't know, it's an area in Alabama that started out during slavery. It was a very, very poor area. And a plantation owner actually walked from Halifax County, North Carolina, to Alabama with 100 slaves. And different people took over the property over the years. The slaves were emancipated, of course, after the Civil War. But then they went to different banks to get money to buy seeds to plant. So that's where the name sharecroppers came from. And they ended up owing so much money that, and then one year, I think cotton dropped from, I guess during the Depression, something. No, it was before that. Cotton dropped from 40 cents a pound to 9 cents a pound. And the people ended up owing. Hey, Rita's Roost, how you doing? Thank you for coming. And welcome, welcome, welcome. And the limping old farmer. Tell Mr. Terry, hey, I've been seeing you guys. So these people ended up, the banks came and like went to their homestead and took everything, took food out of took their chickens, their pigs, their flour, their pantry. They had nothing. The Red Cross had to come in and feed them. So anyway, they had no fabric to even make a quilt with, nothing. All they had were old clothes. They unsewed like feed sacks, the string that was holding the feed sacks together. Now, what kind of machine am I working with? Oh, Karen, this is hold on one minute, I'll show you. So anyway, the slaves who had been freed started making these quilts, and someone later discovered them. They were all made by hand. Some of the people later got sewing machines, and they became known as the Gee's Bend quilts. Some of those quilts these ladies sold for $12, $15. They sell for $2,000, $10,000 now, and they're very, very crude, handmade quilts. Some people are intentionally making quilts like that now. So, Karen, unbiased, this is a Singer Featherweight. It's an antique sewing machine. Uh-oh. I pulled Auntie Joanne's design wall down. I told you I'm a wreck coming to Habitat. I will pick it up in a minute. So It's a Singer featherweight. This is a 1943. The end of it flips up. And these are collectible sewing machines. They weigh 13 pounds. And sometimes you can find them on the side of the road. Sometimes you can find them in estate sales. This one I actually found in North Carolina at it wasn't Goodwill, Habitat Restore. It was near a lake where the people had all these $1 million houses that they built, and someone died and all their stuff was brought to the restore. This particular machine, they stopped making these scrolls in 1943. Hey Carmen, you are a descendant of G's Ben. Oh, thank you for coming and welcome. Well, Carmen, I never knew that. I never knew that. You never told me that. I knew your name. I know your real name. I was forbidden to use it. So we have a celebrity here with us, you guys. Carmen, a 755 Media, is a descendant of G's Ben, Alabama. I know her and Sissy better get that machine out and get hit it a lick or two. You grew up making quilts like G's Ben. Campbell's Creation. She stitches 300. Thank you, Ellen, for coming and welcome. I unfortunately didn't learn how to quilt until I was 50 years old. And I started taking all these fancy lessons, going to all these fancy quilt shops, buying all the toys. Why? Because I was working and I made all the money. And then I realized that I didn't know the old fashioned ways of doing it. My grandmother used to quilt by hand in North Carolina, and then she got a treadle machine, but I didn't grow up in North Carolina. And when she passed, I asked my aunt. I have two aunts living now. One of them saw the garden, the seeds on Facebook, and she told Auntie Joanne and I to send her a picture of the garden because she hasn't seen a garden for years. She actually is from um that's okay, 755. I knew it, but I was sworn to secrecy. I listen. I listen to the rules and I obey them. So my aunt, when my grandmother passed, my grandpap was still living. But you know what happens with families sometimes when somebody passes? Others went to her place. They lived in an apartment in Connecticut then. All her quilts disappeared. Nobody knows who, what, where, when, how, and why. So to get a quilt that was handmade by somebody, and Miss 755, we're going to work on a project together, whether it's on Zoom, whatever. And yeah, that's something I would like to do, something historic. And by the way, you guys, the people in G's Bend, they didn't have cotton that's pressed now. The people would have some fabric, I mean, some cotton that was left over after it was gin, and it still had the seeds in it. I've seen quilts that my grandmother made that had seeds in it. And the G's Ben quilters would take something, they used to sweep the yard with a piece of stick that had brushes on it and leaves. They would sweep the yard. So after they finished sweeping the yard, they had these sticks, and they would beat the cotton, beat the seeds and make it flat, and then they would hand stitch them. The quilting is the stitching that holds the three layers together. She'll tell you that I'm telling you correct. And they made them close together so that the seeds wouldn't fall out and roll away, and to keep the cotton in its place. You take a stick and whip it down. Yes, and I do know how to make, because in North Carolina, when I had my studio, I had a long arm machine, but I also had a way when I teach people, I know how to make the wooden frames. In the old days, during the G's Ben days, they used to sew the quilts onto the frame. Nowadays, we use tacks. Like you can go to the dollar store or the big box stores and get the tacks and hold it. You can still sew them by hand, and I do know how. And the big stitch quilting is the thing. Hassan Tahir Show says salute to the chat. Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. You knew it was a Singer. You have the Singer Rocket, the last one made. I used to collect machines, and I grew up on a Singer. I actually have, and Auntie Joanne actually has, a 1966 Singer. It is a model 338. It's turquoise. And my dad bought it for us in high school. He bought her one, bought me one, and my parents bought us all the stuff. These are still Auntie Joanne's original zigzag. They call them zigzag shears, but they were pinking shears when we grew up. So she still has hers. And I still have some of my old stuff. And I actually have my maternal grandmother's industrial machine that has never been used. She bought it and she passed before she ever had a chance to use it. And the shop wouldn't give my mother the money back. So it stayed up on the third floor of mommy's house until I retired and sold almost all my machines. And I think she felt sorry for me and she gave me my grandmother's industrial. So I have it in my apartment, and I will be cranking it up when I go back there, as well as putting together. I bought a Grace quilting frame, something called a cutie. I have about 60 finished quilt tops from about 10 years ago when I had some health issues and I became legally blind, and I put my quilts away and didn't finish them. Now I will be working on finishing them up, and we'll see what happens and what I do with them after that. And these are the quilt police quilts. These are the ones I did by all the rules, you guys. All the rules. I actually used to be a quilt show judge in North Carolina. You can tell the difference between quilts that are long arm quilted. You can tell the ones that are quilted by computer or the ones that are hand guided. So as a quilt show judge, the ones that were hand guided would get, or hand quilted, would get more points than one that a computer just sat up there and put together and made it perfect. It's the imperfections that make it beautiful. So Carmen Gee has, I'll just stop there because I'm talking out of turn, but we'll talk about it later, and we'll be doing some sewing later. So this should be a really absorbent mug rug. It could probably even be used to pick up a pan of some cornbread. Oh my goodness, you guys. You know I chat and sew. I made what is a 16-inch, I think it's a 16-inch cast iron skillet. I made a chocolate chip cookie that was, 16 inches is from there to there. I made a cookie, a chocolate chip cookie. This is 16 inches, you guys. I made a chocolate chip cookie that was this big. Auntie Joanne and Uncle Roscoe are still eating. A quilting judge is awesome. They just needed somebody that knew the rules. Whatever. So I know the rules, but I break the rules. And whenever I make a quilt, even if I use a pattern, I never, ever, ever, ever make it exactly the way the rules call for it. I always change up and do something different. I have been in quilting groups where we each made the same item using different fabrics, and you would not even know that it was the same quilt. Now, Rita put exclamation mark GQUAT. In fact, all of you put that in the chat so that you can find each other's channels. Rita has a long arm. She finishes quilts. She mostly does her own quilts. That's why I bought my long arm. And because I would make quilts, I used to sew all day every day. All day every day. And one day, actually, hold on. Let me see if I can find something to show you guys, if you don't mind. Okay. Oops, sorry. Whoop- Whoops, that wasn't the one. I wanted to show you this. This is my studio. So, so I hope I didn't bore you guys. So that was my 1,500 square foot studio. When I built the house in North Carolina, it was on 4 acres. I had all kinds of animals, chickens, ducks, goats. I think I had 8 or 9 Cane Corso Italian Mastiffs and all kinds of critters. But the second floor of the house, I left and just finished into one big studio because I had 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms downstairs. I lived alone and there were other buildings on the property. So I did whatever Lola wanted, Lola got. And no, I don't have all those sewing machines anymore. Those were all mine. That turquoise one that you saw, that's the one that I told you I still have in my apartment in Connecticut. Auntie Joanne's is on my mother's house on the 3rd floor someplace, and she has several sewing machines around here as well as this featherweight. It's just such a fun little sewing machine, and it's so powerful. You can sew leather. You can sew several layers of leather onto some upcycled, recycled jeans. So you can do just about anything on them. So I see we're gone on a little bit over an hour. I did sew the 4 of these together, and I will let you guys go. They're denim on the back. I will trim them and finish them up on Saturday. I don't know if any of you guys like basketball. My family is really into sports. You see baseball, softball, basketball. My great grandson is a baller. He's 17. He will probably, I'm going to put it out there for God's ears, he'll probably get a scholarship to go to a 4 year university, hopefully a full ride. He has skills like that and he practices. My only that's my one great grandson. My uh, grandson is a golf pro. He's a golf coach. He doesn't play like on the circuit or anything. My son is an IT professional, but he has a black belt in capoeira, martial arts, pew pew carry, all that stuff, and he swims. Oh, I know you're not outside my door barking. I know you're not out there. Oh, sorry, you guys. I might have to mute you. She's outside my door barking. And let's see. Oh, and they swim. Uncle Roscoe was a lifeguard in. Hold on 1 minute, you guys. Okay, so well, that I guess will be the end of the session because she's just going to sit outside my door. I thought I left the gate open, but she's up here barking. Okay. Well, Miss Shirley OG goes live tonight, you guys, at 7 p.m. Normally past my little bedtime. Oh, tonight the family will be up downstairs late watching basketball playoffs. So thank you, Maria Graham. You liked my little sewing studio. It was actually 15 minutes. Ah, touching things. I was trying to get to the bottom. It never lets me. So now it's time to say goodbye to all our lovely friends. Thank you guys. Mother in American Sign Language. Ego amote. This is an I. This is an L. This is a U. in American Sign Language, you say, I love you like this. I'll see you Saturday, 6 p.m.